Hello, I'm Cheryl, and this is Sleep Tight Relax, a weekly bedtime show for kids who need a good sleep. In tonight's story, a young girl named Lily discovers her flowers drooping and learns from her babysitter that they attend a magical party each night. At night, she watches as her flowers come alive to dance in the moonlight, joined by other flowers and her toys. The flowers thank Lily for her care and ask to be buried in the garden to bloom again next summer. Through this curious adventure, Lily learns about imagination, the beauty of nature, and the joy of caring for others. Before we listen to our story, let's get cozy and comfortable. You can close your eyes if you like and take a deep breath in through your nose. Now gently breathe out through your mouth. Let's use our imagination. Imagine you are in a beautiful garden. The sun is setting, and the sky is painted with soft colors of your choosing. The air is filled with the sweet scent of flowers, and you can hear a gentle breeze rustling the leaves. As the stars begin to twinkle in the night sky, the flowers in the garden start to wake up. Picture a lovely yellow lily stretching her petals wide open. She's ready to dance. Take a deep breath in and imagine the sweet smell of the flowers filling the air. Breathe out slowly, letting all your worries float away. Now, imagine the flowers beginning their magical dance. The roses twirl gracefully, the daisies bounce with joy, and the violets sway gently to the music. Each flower holds hands with its leafy neighbors, moving in perfect harmony. You can hear the soft music of the night. Feel your body getting lighter, just like the flowers, as you imagine yourself joining their dance. Your feet are as light as petals, and you float around the garden with ease. Take another deep breath in, feeling the calm and peace of this special place. Breathe out and let your body relax even more. Now, imagine the flowers whispering to you, thanking you for spending time with them and sharing their magical world. They tell you that whenever you need to relax. As the flowers begin to settle down, you feel yourself getting sleepier and sleepier. The garden fades away, but the feeling of calm stays with you. Your body is relaxed, your mind is at ease, and you are ready to listen to our story and drift off to sleep. Take one last deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and then slowly breathe out. Let your body melt into your cozy bed. You can keep your eyes closed and continue taking deep breaths if you like, as we continue with our story, Lily and the Dancing Flowers. Little Lily frowned at her droopy bouquet of flowers. Oh no, my poor flowers are looking so sad today. Just last night they were so full of color and life. What happened to them? She glanced over at her babysitter sitting on the sofa nearby. She was her favorite visitor, always ready with the most delightful stories and paper crafts, like hearts with little dancers inside, or tall castles with doors that opened and closed. She was such a cheerful storyteller. "Why are the flowers looking so tired today?" Lily asked again, holding up her wilted bouquet. "Don't you know?" replied the babysitter with a twinkle in her eye. "The flowers went to a big garden party last night, and they're all tuckered out. That's why they're drooping." "A party?" Lily giggled. "Flowers can't dance." "Oh, but they can. When it gets dark and everyone's asleep, the flowers come alive and dance the night away. They have a party almost every night." "Can kids go to the party too?" Lily asked, her eyes wide with wonder. "Why, of course," said the babysitter. "The tiny daisies and little lilies of the valley join in because they're just the right size." "Which flowers have the fanciest dances?" asked Lily. "Have you visited the big garden outside the town near the place where the king stays in summer? It's full of beautiful flowers. You might remember the swans that swim over for breadcrumbs. They have the best parties there." "I was just there yesterday with my mom," Lily said, thinking back. "But there were no leaves on the trees, and I didn't see any flowers. Where did they all go? There were so many in the summer." "They've moved into the palace," the babysitter explained. "When the king and his court leave for the town, the flowers rush into the palace for some fun. If you could see them, the prettiest roses pretend to be the king and queen sitting on the throne. All the lovely flowers come together for a grand party. The blue violets act like naval cadets, dancing with the hyacinths and crocuses who play the role of young ladies. The tulips and tiger lilies are like the wise old ladies who make sure the dancing goes smoothly." "But what if someone finds the flowers dancing in the king's castle?" asked little Lily. "No one knows," said the babysitter, shaking her head. "Sometimes the old castle steward comes in at night with his jingling keys to check everything. But as soon as the flowers hear him, they stop dancing and hide behind the curtains. The steward might sniff the air and say, 'Do I smell flowers?' But he never sees them." Lily clapped her hands in delight. "That's so funny! But do you think I could see the flowers too?" "Absolutely," the babysitter nodded. "Next time you visit the palace, just peek through the windows. I did today and saw a long yellow lily lounging on a sofa, looking very much like a court lady." "Do the flowers from the botanical garden ever go to the party?" Lily asked. "It's such a long way." "They can fly if they want," the babysitter said. "Haven't you seen the beautiful red and yellow butterflies that look like flowers? They used to be flowers. They've flown off their stems and turned their petals into wings. That's why they get to fly around during the day, flitting from place to place. Maybe the flowers in the botanical garden haven't heard about the palace parties yet. But if you tell them about the party, the news will spread quickly, and they'll all fly away. Then the professor will come to his garden and find it empty, wondering where all the flowers went." "But how do flowers tell each other?" Lily wondered aloud. "I know they can't speak." "No, they can't talk, but they make signs," said the babysitter. "Have you noticed how they nod and move when the wind blows? They use their leaves to communicate, just like we use words." "Does the professor understand their signs?" Lily asked. "He understands some," the babysitter replied. One morning, he saw a nettle making signs to a red carnation saying, "You're so beautiful and I love you." The professor didn't like it and tried to stop the nettle, but it stung him, and he's never touched a nettle since. Lily laughed. "That's hilarious." "How can anyone put such notions into a child's head?" said the nanny who had come into the room. She didn't like the babysitter or her playful tales, always dismissing them as foolish nonsense. But little Lily loved the babysitter's stories and kept thinking about them. She was sure now that her flowers looked droopy because they were tired from dancing at the party. So she decided to take care of them. She brought them over to the table where her toys sat. Her doll lay sleeping in her cradle. "Sorry, Dolly, but you need to sleep in the drawer tonight," Lily said, gently lifting the doll. "The flowers are tired and need your bed to rest. Maybe they'll feel better by morning." Lily tucked the flowers into the doll's bed, covering them with a tiny blanket. "Lie still now," she told them. "I'll make some tea for you to drink so you'll feel better tomorrow." She pulled the curtains around the bed to keep the sunlight out of their eyes. That evening, Lily couldn't stop thinking about the babysitter's story. When it was time for bed, she went to the window where her mother's tulips and hyacinths stood. "I know you're going to a party tonight," she whispered, smiling at them. The flowers didn't move, but Lily knew they were keeping secrets. As Lily lay in bed, she dreamed of the flowers dancing in the king's castle. She wondered if her flowers had been there. Before long, she fell into a deep sleep. In the middle of the night, Lily woke up. She had been dreaming about the babysitter, the flowers, and the nanny saying they were teasing her. Everything was quiet in the room, with only the nightlight glowing softly. Her mother and father were asleep. "I wonder if my flowers are still in Sophie's bed," she thought. "I'd love to see them." She looked at the door, which was half open, leading to the room where her flowers and toys were. She listened closely and thought she heard faint music, more beautiful than she had ever heard before. "The flowers must be dancing," Lily thought excitedly. "Oh, how I wish I could see them." But she didn't dare get up, afraid of waking her parents. If only they would come in here, she thought. But the flowers stayed in the other room, and the music continued so sweetly that Lily couldn't resist any longer. She quietly slipped out of bed, tiptoed to the door, and peeked inside. What she saw was magical. The room was bright, even though there was no nightlight. The moon shone through the window, lighting up the floor like daytime. The hyacinths and tulips stood in 2 rows, no longer in their pots. On the floor, the flowers danced gracefully, holding each other by their long green leaves as they twirled. At the piano sat a tall yellow lily that Lily recognized from the summer. She remembered the babysitter saying, "How much she looks like Miss Laura," and everyone laughing. Now, Lily really thought the lily looked like the young lady, bending its yellow face to the music's rhythm. A blue crocus stepped forward, jumped onto the table where Lily's toys lay, and went straight to the doll's cradle. The flowers in the cradle rose, greeting the others, and joined the dance. They didn't look tired at all now. Suddenly, Lily heard a thud. She glanced over and saw her wooden stick fall from the table, and it seemed eager to join the flowers. The stick was special, with a wax figure that looked just like the nanny on top of it. The stick began to dance, and the wax figure on it grew taller and larger, like the nanny herself, exclaiming, "How could anyone put such nonsense into a child's head?" Lily giggled, for it was funny to see the nanny figure dancing, whether it was tall or small. The other flowers whispered kind words, especially those that had rested in the doll's bed. And finally, the stick left the figure alone. Meanwhile, there was a knocking sound from the drawer where Sophie, Lily's doll, lay with other toys. Sophie peeked out, looking surprised. "Is there a party? Why didn't anyone tell me?" She climbed onto the table, expecting an invitation to dance. But when none came, she threw herself onto the floor with a loud thump. The flowers rushed over to see if she was hurt, being very polite, especially the ones who had slept in her bed. Sophie was fine, and the flowers thanked her for lending her bed, inviting her to the middle of the room to dance under the moonlight. Sophie was delighted, saying they could keep her bed as she didn't mind sleeping in the drawer. But the flowers replied, "Thank you for your kindness, but we won't need it for long. We'll be gone by tomorrow. Tell little Lily to bury us in the garden near the canary, and we'll bloom again next summer, even more beautiful." "Oh no, don't go," said Sophie, kissing the flowers. More flowers came dancing in. Lily wondered if they were from the king's garden. 2 elegant roses led the way wearing golden crowns, followed by wallflowers and pinks, bowing politely. A band played music, with wild hyacinths and snowdrops ringing tiny bells. It was a wonderful orchestra. A large crowd of flowers followed, all dancing. Violets, daisies, lilies of the valley, and others. It was a delight to see. Finally, the flowers wished each other good night. Lily crept back to bed, filled with joy and wonder, dreaming of all the magical things she had seen. When she woke the next morning, Lily hurried to her little table to check on her flowers. She drew back the curtains of the doll's bed and found the flowers there, looking even more wilted than before. But instead of feeling sad, Lily smiled, remembering their lively dance. Sophie lay in the drawer looking very sleepy. "Do you remember what you were supposed to tell me?" Lily asked her doll. Sophie seemed surprised and didn't say a word, but Lily didn't mind. She giggled, remembering how much fun they'd had. "You're still my friend even if you're sleepy," Lily said, giving Sophie a gentle pat. Then she found a little box with birds painted on it and carefully placed the flowers inside. "This will be your special resting place," she said to the flowers. "When my cousins visit, they'll help me plant you in the garden so you can wake up next summer even more beautiful and ready to dance again." Lily felt a warm glow in her heart, knowing that the flowers would return. She whispered to them, "Thank you for sharing your secret with me. I'll be waiting for you." With a hopeful smile, Lily skipped off to tell her family about the magical night, feeling grateful for the wonderful adventure she'd shared with her flower friends. If you are still awake, I would like you to whisper to yourself or just say in your mind, "I can relax and let go of worries, knowing that each day brings new adventures." I am imaginative and creative, just like Lily and her magical flowers. I care for my friends and help them feel better, just like Lily does for her flowers. I am ready to dream big dreams and wake up refreshed and excited for a new day. I am a part of a magical world full of endless possibilities. I am calm, relaxed, and peaceful. Good night. Sleep tight.